Get this 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network. Morning, everybody. Just some polite applause. As you can hear, I'm still not 100%. It's me, Tony Martin. We've got Ed Cavalier. Richard Marsden's pushing the buttons.
Someone in promotions in the kitchen today said to me, "Why do you never have an event?"
An event?
Yeah.
We had Capril?
No, not an event. That's a promotion.
We had Saturday Caftan Day?
That's just some nonsense with blokes wearing bits of silk in the office.
An event?
Yep, an event. Like a singles night. A lot of programs are doing singles nights, calling them all different things.
But that's not on the show. We like to do stuff that's on the show. What about playing clips from Police 10-7 from across the Tasman? Surely that's going to catch on with other programs.
Yeah.
A lot of people are requesting more of that. I'm sorry, listeners, I did miss the teabagging episode. I don't know what was going on there. There was an episode on the weekend where everyone was so drunk that all of the clips had to be subtitled. You couldn't, there was no audio we could use. It was for half an hour. But I did tape one which has, I reckon, the longest beep I've yet heard on Police 10-7. This is when a very sensible constable, as they all are across the Tasman,
So nice.
infiltrates a drug den.
Another thing we want to talk to you about is the fact that you're breaching your bail conditions, okay?
What do you mean breaching my bail conditions?
Part of your bail conditions are not to associate with any of the
Hey, he
involved
was
in-
the one that come and got me, not I didn't run to him.
Well, you were associating with him.
He rang me.
So what you need to do...
I took my
I've
house.
listened to you, now listen to me. What you need to do, if you don't want to get arrested and taken into the police station, is you need to sort out your living arrangements, because if you keep living here with him, we will come back and we will arrest you, okay? So you need to sort it out.
Yeah, well, he's just an art like his mother is. As far as I'm concerned. Liar and a user, that's all he is. Wants me to pay for all his drugs.
Well, then you're better off without him, aren't you? Top out.
Just a user. You use people to pay for your drug, you stupid drug addict.
Is that the record? Can we get that guy on to co-host one day?
You know what he
Just use me to pay for your drugs. That's what you do. That's a great voice. That's a fun one to do. Try it in your car. Everyone listening now in a car, wind down your window. I don't care if it's raining, and say, he just uses me to pay for his drugs.
It's Ryan Philippe in New Zealand is what it is.
Is it really?
It's too soon, Reese.
That was apparently an actual quote from Ryan Philippe.
outside a nightclub.
It's too soon, Reese. What about the drugs? Is that the longest beep we've had on the show, do you think?
So we have an email here from Hilary Pierce.
Yes.
And she writes in to say that I was fortunate enough to attend the world premiere of Shortbus. What was supposed to be a Q&A session with John Cameron Mitchell, the director, after a screening of the making of the orgy scene, turned into an impromptu world premiere due to a faulty disc.
Oh.
While waiting for someone to grab the disc from his hotel, the audience had the pleasure of watching got stage fright and couldn't squeeze out a drop.
Oh,
I'm
that's-
sure you won't be surprised to hear a number of people walked out during the screening.
Dear, oh dear. Here's another letter concerning Shortbus. This is from Michael Kettlewell. Dear Ed, how is it you can't stomach the PG-rated peck that was the kiss in Transformers, yet you have no problem with Shortbus? Good question.
Probably fair enough, I reckon.
What is it with you and kissing in the
I
movies?
can't stand it. It makes me I get really nervous and I don't believe them, and they're obviously not into each other.
There's never been one in the history of cinema.
There's never been one in the history of cinema where you thought, yep, they're probably, because if they are actually doing it in real life, that's sick, because then you have to watch it. Much like the guy at the gym, and if you're listening, please stop, the personal trainer that rewards his client every time she does like a sort of a bending lift thing with a little grope on the buttocks and a kiss on the mouth.
Yeah,
Is it going on at your gym?
Yeah.
Didn't we establish that they were together?
I don't care. I do not care. Now, speaking of Transformers, I've come up with my watertight argument as to why it ain't right. Because Ryan Shelton from Roof came in and said that you've got to expect with Michael Bay there's going to be some romance.
Yeah, sure.
Which is all fair enough. But we have an email here from Lee Donnellan that says, what's with Optimus Prime and the rest of the perverts loitering in the background while the nerd and the hot chick get it on on Bumblebee's chest.
Yeah.
Shortbus in disguise. He's absolutely right.
That is very weird.
Now-
That is very 8 Transformers of interest, that I have to say. Very odd.
Now, how can you tell a movie sucks? What's the guaranteed way to tell a movie sucks?
Sandra Bullock.
The name Pauly Shore appears in the credits.
Incorrect.
That's very cheap.
Incorrect. Theme song by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh,
Right,
really?
yeah.
Wings of Desire. Now, do that one.
That was Iris.
Iris.
Was it Wings of Desire or was it an American version of Wings of
Sorry,
Desire?
how does it go again?
No, because you'll bag it up.
That one. Copperhead Road.
The theme song for Transformers is by you-know-who, our friends, the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh.
And in the film clip, it's the Goo Goo Dolls, as they're always found, on a rooftop in the wind.
Yeah.
And then shots of all the pashing.
Yeah. That
The
sounds like we need
prosecution rests.
another really long beep, I think, to describe that. I walked through the sales department on the way here, and we often...
Were you inspired?
Yeah, I was today, because you know what they were doing? A couple of blokes were standing around copying your style of singing.
Really?
Doing Copperhead Road. It was played earlier on the station, and everyone is infected with Copperhead fever. People love it when Ed Cavalier sings. They love it even more when Richard Marsland sings in the style of Ed Cavalier.
Flowers, flowers drifting by the bay. In my dreams I see flowers red, blue, and pain.
Okay, so your Ed sounds like Bob Dylan. Your Ringo sounds like Peter Harvey.
Yep. It's all over the place.
Do you Warwick Cappa? Can you do a Warwick Cappa?
Warwick Cappa sort of talks a bit quick.
Yeah, he was on
Talks a bit quick.
Current Affair last night.
Oh, she wouldn't say that.
Hosted by a robot.
Certainly was.
Mm.
The robot was accusing Warwick of being a deadbeat dad.
Come on, robot.
And of course, they did that thing where they couldn't get Joanne Capper to say anything.
No.
So they just find one of their quote-unquote psychologists who say all the nasty stuff that the absent person would have said.
So much easier if they get them to wear the mask of the person that they're
That would be
talking
great.
for.
That would be great.
What's
Carl.
her name? What's the psychologist that she's on everything?
Well, we've got a clip here. Check
Here
this
we
out.
go.
Since the well-publicised split, Warwick's reputation as a human headline has only grown. There's been Warwick Cappa, the traffic controller, the meter man, and just this week, he's announced he's running for Mayor of the Gold Coast.
I think that most of Australia would really appreciate Warwick Cappa more if he grew up.
Psychologist Janet Hall.
Older men usually are a lot more reliable and don't wear cop pants.
Oh, no.
Hang on.
Quieten down, psychologist lady. We want him in the hot pants for the full term of his mayoralty.
She can talk about the brain stuff, but the package holding apparatus,
Yeah.
that's Kappa's business.
Leave that to Warwick.
Yeah.
Impressions. I find when you have a cold, you can usually do voices you can't normally do. Do you find that?
Yeah.
Helen Clark. You'd be in the Helen Clark territory now.
Really? Does that sound Helen Clark?
New Zealand Prime Minister Helen Clark.
Yeah. I can usually do quite a good Paul Simon when I have a cold for no reason.
Let's have a crack.
Man walks down the street, says, "Why am I soft in the middle?" Hasn't quite happened yet. Give it a couple more days.
Okay.
We'll be doing Simon and Garfunkel, Rich.
Oh, that's good news.
You wait.
Who does that make me? Like Stills or Nash?
You could be Stills or Nash. You
All
could be
right.
Dan Fogelberg if you want.
Tips on Fogelberg.
You don't know who that is there.
All right then, I'm Dan Fogelberg.
Very good.
Is that him?
It is now. Lavinia Nixon is with us. Now, you've done a bit of acting. People probably might not remember that you were in things like Blue Heelers, and I saw you in a movie on TV late one night called The Inner Sanctuary.
Yes.
Where you were being cracked onto in a bar by Colin Lane from Lano and Woodley, who was playing a
Yes.
kind of sleazy businessman.
I was working as a production assistant, which means you're there, the first person there, and you're the last person to leave. You
Yes.
work like an absolute dog. And not that people treat you like one, but you are, you're the lowest rung on the peg there. And then I had to be an actor as well and stand at the bar while
Lano tried the
bought me
moves.
drinks and stuff. I was going, this isn't in the job description.
It didn't
There's no
look-
cameras rolling.
That's right. It just looked like a scene that was captured, verite style by accident. What other ones have been left off the resume there?
Well, I was a dead body in Halifax FP.
Dead
That
body.
was the easiest day at work I've ever had. You turn up, you literally just lie in a bed,
around.
and Ben Mendelsohn came up and pretended to strangle me, and that was it.
Wow.
But he didn't actually even come close enough to touch me. They cut out of it by then. So all I did all day was just lie in bed, asleep.
Wow.
And then the thing is,
And got a logie.
Not quite, but when the show gets sold around the world, you get checks for like 92 cents because it goes to Chile, or it'll go to some
Fantastic.
other bizarre country and you get 11 cents.
I love those checks. I still get the odd check. About every 3 years, I'll get a check for 28 cents for a piece of music that goes like this. Shit music, 23 FM. That's all it is. It's on some album.
You're living off that tone.
I'm
But
living
you
off.
know what? You still go and cash it, don't you?
Oh, yeah, that's, retirement money. Things to try before you die. During the ad break, we were trying to come up with our own stuff for the second series. Lavinia has discussed it. We're so unambitious in here.
Yeah, I know.
She's saying, well, what are you going to do on your holiday? And I'm going, well, I made a Barjust DVD. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
And then you're saying, I could watch a few movies, I guess.
Oh,
Like, come on, get the adrenaline going.
all right, things. Okay, here's one. I want to do that thing that I've seen on YouTube where you get fire extinguishers and you use them to power office chairs up corridors. Does that really work?
Oh, man.
That's kind of jackass a little bit.
Yeah, they're not being pulled on invisible wires, are they? Can you really power an office
That
chair with
is-
2 fire extinguishers?
I'm willing to find out, Tone. I've never seen that, but that's it. See, there we go. There's something. And then
Yeah.
you could jump some stuff.
In an office chair.
Work experience, kid.
In an Evil Knievel costume. In an
Now we're
office
getting
chair.
somewhere.
All right, that's
I've
pretty.
always wanted to pole vault over a ravine.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Can that be done?
Yes.
Have you ever
Thanks
done
very
it?
much.
We haven't done it.
I'm sure pole vaulting isn't as easy as it looks in the Naked Gun movies.
No,
when that bloke
I think even
escapes from
just,
prison.
just running with a stick that long.
Yeah,
that's
it's exactly.
Yeah.
See, even that would be too much for us.
Okay.
Richard, things to try before you die.
I'd love to be a roadie for a band and go on a tour.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
that'd be great.
A lot of hard work and you need talent, but
But you're last in the pecking order, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah, but it'd be great fun just stepping up 1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to say two, 1, 2, 2.
Chew.
I'd love to do that. Change guitars, run bottles of water out, towels.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Crowd
Sign me
control.
up.
Bit of crowd control. Could you do that? Could you tackle someone?
Yeah, I'll give that a go.
Could you go to the door to the backstage and pick like yes, no, yes, no?
Yeah,
Could
see,
you do
now
some of
that's
that?
that's a good thing to do as well.
Could you leap into the crowd to rescue a member of TISM?
I'll give that a go.
Those are the hardest working roadies, aren't they? Those blokes. Lavinia, I mean, you seem, according to your own bio, you seem to have done pretty much everything. You've done more than any of us have done. You've been inside the pyramids. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
What goes on in there?
Pokies?
Not a lot. It seems like everyone's kind of passed away. And moved on.
really?
Oh, it's a bit of
It's very hot in there. I was quite surprised. Hot in there? Yeah, it's really cramped and it's about 50 degrees.
That's great. It's not Tuscan style. You know what I mean?
Is there a Starbucks in there yet? I've heard they were going to get one in there.
They've got cops on camels. That made me laugh.
Cops on camels.
Mhm.
There's a show for
In
the
Giza.
CI network.
Now, you had your hands on a panda.
I did in China. I had an 8-month-old panda bear sit on my lap and it was heaven.
What was its name?
Oh, I didn't even ask.
Like
I was too
Choo Choo
overwhelmed.
and Meow Meow.
Ping, ping.
But you know that movie of Mice and Men?
Yeah.
And they go, easy, Lenny, put it down. Because he goes, I love it. It's so cute. I want to kill it.
Yeah, his
that
mouse.
was me. I
Really?
just wanted to squeeze all the air out of it. After a while, I went, take it away. It's too cute.
Wow.
It
And is
was
it cuddly? A
heaven.
panda? Because I watched World's Most Amazing Videos yesterday, and a man got attacked by a panda, which I
Really?
thought that didn't happen. I
They're
thought they were
quite
all
vicious.
They're vicious.
Mm.
They're so cuddly.
I know. But once they hit a certain age, unless you're a piece of bamboo, they're not really interested in you being around.
Sexual frustration, that must be what it is.
Yeah, they don't want
That's right, because they're not mating in captivity.
to.
No.
They actually have to play them little panda videos.
I know.
Yeah,
I've
is
heard of
that
this.
true? We've heard about this. Now, okay, firstly, can the panda register a TV screen? Because I've tried this with my dog a lot of times, and it doesn't look like they can see what's going on there.
My if there's a dog on the telly, I'll go, Sam, look, and he'll run around the back to try and find it. So I think he does register it. He
So-
obviously knows there's something going
So
on.
the pandas are sitting there watching panda porn on TV. That's real.
Yes.
That really happens.
Yes.
See, I don't. But if the pandas won't mate at all, then how do they make the tapes? It must be actors.
On a in panda suits.
Yeah.
Where'd they get the footage?
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, this is just from my research before I went to China.
Research.
Yes, research.
Nice.
I read my notes on the plane. The good-looking pandas and the ugly pandas have different pheromones, so they smell differently. So they'll take the good-looking pandas' pheromones and kind of daub it around the ugly ones and back
Ugly ones.
and back them into the pen, and obviously hope for the best. And after it's finished, if the male panda catches a glimpse of the ugly female panda's face, they go nuts. They get really angry and they try and fight and they have to pull the female panda out of there.
Wow.
But that's how they have to trick them because there's only 1,500 in the wild. So they have to take these desperate measures.
Things to try before you die. Maybe you'd like to be a roadie for a band.
Yes.
Maybe you'd like to power yourself up a corridor by a fire extinguisher. Maybe you'd like to appear in a panda porno.
Tone,
Reverse cow panda.
what did I want to do?
What did you want to do?
You don't remember?
You just want to jump stuff.
Pole vault over a ravine.
Oh, pardon me. Cross that off the list, listeners. Lavinia Nixon is with us. She's met some pandas. I just heard Ed Cavalier ask her, do they have knees?
Now, hang on. That's not as silly question as it sounds. If you
Oh,
ever
I didn't know the answer.
No, because if you ever see a panda try and get up from sitting down, they get up straight-legged.
Right.
And they kind of lean forward on their hands and
Well-
then get up and start dancing.
We'll cover that on tomorrow's show. Do pandas have knees? Exclusive to get this. But what about some new... Because obviously there's going to be a second series of this thing.
Hi, John. How are you?
Maybe try to own a house in Sydney.
Oh, it can't be done. It's never been
yeah.
done. Not for years.
No one actually does that.
No one's bought a property there for, I think, 12, 13 years. Simply not possible.
No, I don't think so.
Who's going next?
Hello, Matthew.
Hey, I'd love to go diving with white pointers in South Australia or South Africa.
Oh, in the cage?
Preferably, yeah.
Yeah.
Not fussy, but yeah.
Well, Lavinia's had a crack at this, or you said
Jules has.
Jules has.
Yeah.
Yes, he said it was fantastic. The highlight of the whole series for him.
Do they have a go at the cage?
They do.
They do have a go at the Melbourne cage, particularly. They don't like Fitzy, apparently. I don't know why.
Naughty white pointers.
P.S. says Wanted Yacht. Ed, why isn't your name in the credits on the Meat Pie trailer? This is the trailer, as it's called on YouTube for the film.
Is
that
anyone's name?
Yeah, that's right. It says starring Ostentatious and I think someone from Big Brother and Johnny Boxer. And your name isn't even in the tiny little print, and yet you're the lead character in the main role. What's that about?
I don't know, Tone.
Is that because when you made it, nobody had heard of you?
Yeah.
But surely now...
Oh, now I'm huge.
Now
I
that-
mean, you try walking down the street as me.
Look,
literally.
You are on the nation's #1 rating, 11 till 1.
Comedy show on this network in this time slot, if you don't count music and AM radio.
Do you reckon you'll be bumped up? You know, when it comes out, will you suddenly be at the front of the credits?
I mean, I'd hope so.
Well, it's interesting because I think Tony pointed out when he was watching the trailer that they've listed the aspect ratio as the final image on that trailer.
That's the shape of the frame. Imagine people watching that. Oh, I don't know about that one, mate. It's only in 1:185.
I'm leaving.
I prefer Panavision.
Now, a lot of people say it was a rip-off of your American Pie.
Is this the topic we're doing today? Rip-off. So but you had some other topics we were going to do. I was going to suggest
better ones.
Shonkiest nightclub fire. That's what I wanted to do. It's been rejected by the lawyers.
All right. What have they found inside you?
No.
Okay. What will you put up with for hot people?
Now, you've been floating this for a while.
I think it's a good idea.
So the idea is you're dating someone who's incredibly hot, as Mr. Marsland is.
Yeah. And what will you put up with just to keep it going?
Yeah, that's not going to offend people, is it, that one? I'll tell you what, we'll keep floating it, and if the listeners bite, we might do that one.
All right, let's do rip-offs.
Rip-offs, because in the paper today, you've got that film Strange Bedfellows, came out a few years ago with Michael Caton and Paul Hogan as two firemen pretend to be gay so as to obtain some kind of tax benefits or something.
Yeah.
Dean Murphy, the director of that, lovely bloke, has every right to be angry, I feel, by the new Adam Sandler film, in which Adam Sandler...
Absolutely right. Adam Sandler's got a movie out. We're all have a right to be angry.
Him and the King of Queens play, what do you know, two firemen. They haven't even bothered to change firemen who have to pretend to be a gay couple in order to blah-de-blah-de-blah.
They've ripped it off.
Well, it would appear so. I think we probably have to throw an allegedly in there, and it looks like it's all going to head to court. And, of course, the connection is Michael Caton says he gave a copy of Strange Bedfellows to Rob Schneider, who he knows via that film The Animal.
The Animal, yep.
And, of course, Schneider and Sandler, they're like a gay couple,
Firm
so they're like that. So I don't know if there's any... Obviously, this isn't the People's Court.
Well, not yet.
It does look like a rip-off. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
Don't know. I mean, if they are both firemen, it's a
rip-off.
That's a rip-off. Now, how about this, Tone? When I was at the video store, Jackie Chan would bring out, good movies every now and again. Your Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh,
yeah.
Shanghai Nights.
Super Cop.
Super Cop.
Drunken Master 2.
Drunken Master
That's the
2.
best one.
Unbelievable. Now, he's a genius. Jackie Chan is amazing. All his own stunts.
World's greatest movie star. Most popular movie star in history.
There you go.
It's true.
All right. Not so popular is the man that every single time Jackie Chan would bring out a movie, another movie would come out with a cover that looked dangerously similar, starring Jeff Speakman. So when Rumble in the Bronx came out, the same day we got another box, cardboard box put together by who knows who. It said Jeff Speakman is the perfect weapon. And then when Shanghai Nights came out, the same day, Jeff Speakman is punched in the shins.
Ripped off. Now, we're not just looking for movies. It could be anything. Songs, TV shows, packaging. Because you're talking about video shops. Here's something I learnt back in the days when I was a boring typographer. Yellow. It's the catchiest colour.
Really?
If you want to sell books, make them yellow. It's the one that the eye goes to from the other side of the bookshop or the other side of the video shop, and you would remember the cover of the Full Monty.
Yellow as.
Yellow as. You could see it from out. You could be driving past the video shop and go, oh, the Full Monty's in there.
Little Miss Sunshine tried the same thing.
They did. They've gone with the yellow. But do you remember a movie with Toni Collette called The James Gang?
I do.
And the cover was identical. Same yellow, same font. The James Gang, written the same as The Full Monty. Mr. Marsland.
There's a commercial going around at the moment. It's for some...
Not in a commercial, Rich. I won't hear that ad people haven't thought up their own ideas and have just ripped off a movie. I will not hear it.
It's all original.
I'm just checking to see if any of their commercials are coming up on the air. Don't seem to be, so I can unload. But it's a Kellogg's commercial. I'm not sure it's for a breakfast cereal. And there's a guy in a lie detector, and you watch the commercial, and it's this guy, and he gradually admits to more and more embarrassing things as the lie detector catches him out.
Right.
It's a rip-off of an exact same scene in The Simpsons.
Is it?
Where Moe is on the lie detector saying, I have a date later on. I don't have a date later on.
Same lines.
Yeah.
It's the same pace. It's the same everything.
I am so angry with Will Ferrell. How dare he rip off that brilliant ad where everyone's sitting around singing Afternoon Delight in the office?
It is the easiest job in the world, isn't it? Advertising makeup ads, dude. Just watch a movie, go in the next day, sport a ponytail, go, look what I've got. Cha-ching.
Okay. Well, get it out of your system, listeners.
Hello, Ian.
Lately, CI, the crime and whatever
Criminal
they are.
intent.
Oh, law and order, criminal intent.
Gorin and all that sort of stuff, they do. I mean, last week I think it was Anna Nicole Smith, they said, what happens if she was murdered? And this week apparently it's the nappy-wearing astronauts.
Oh, fantastic.
Do you remember her?
So real life sort of stories being ripped off by the crime shows. Why not get that going in Australia? There's a new one starting called City Homicide with Borny. Borny's copping up.
Okay, I've got it. First episode, Richard Marsland as the bloke with the cardboard box on his head trying to rob servos in Adelaide.
Second episode, Richard Marsland as Geelong Steve Johnson swigging sunscreen from people's porches.
Punching cabbies.
We've got heaps of real life gear in this country that would be folded into these shows.
Easily.
My stomach has never been so protected from the UV rays.
Hi, Susan.
It's a generalised one. It's Aldi's. You walk in and all these products are coloured to make you think of other products.
That's right.
Oh, beautiful.
Like their choco rice and their choc malt green tube of drink.
Hang on, can you stop and go back? What is Choco Rice?
Choco rice is their rip-off of Cocoa Pop.
Choco Rice sounds nowhere near as appealing as Cocoa Pop.
But the box is yellow, so that's important.
Oh, right. So who's the mascot for Choco Rice? Just a school teacher.
They have one. Aldi's doesn't budget for mascots.
And do you like to go to the Aldi and buy the wacky combinations of products?
I do, because you always walk away thinking, I didn't really need that, but it was really cheap.
I didn't need it.
What did you buy last time you were there?
Oh, we ended up buying a DVD player.
There we go.
It's only $39.
Wow.
Was it a DVD player and bag of rice?
And a box of Choco Rice.
There you go.
All right, Aldi.
Thank you,
is
Susan.
possibly a rip-off, man. There must be another one we can put to air, Ed.
Joel?
Pretty much any prison film after Escape from Alcatraz.
You an Escape from Alcatraz fan with Clint Eastwood. What was so original about that as a prison movie?
Well, I'll give you the examples of the rip-offs, like Shawshank Redemption and A Perfect World, which is a Kevin Costner film. In both films, they both escaped from prison by collecting bits of rock off the wall and dumping it in their shoes and walking outside into the yard.
Yes, that was a great... It was Escape from Alcatraz the one where he hid the thing in the heel of his boot?
That's right, yeah.
And then had a second metal thing in his hand.
Yeah.
So that the metal detector set it off. They confiscate the first one, don't find the thing in the boot.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's also got a little pet bird, don't they, as a metaphor, one of the characters in Alcatraz, is that right?
Yes.
And they've always got the antisocial prisoner who's been picked on. You've got the big tough one who's got the drugs, and you've got the mean old prison warden and what have you.
Yes, and wasn't Escape from Alcatraz the one where Clint Eastwood made a paper mache version of himself? Which I think later starred in Firefox.
I'm not sure. Actually, the VHS copy, the VHS test copy I rented, no joke, for the first hour of it was just all static. So you could hear it's just all this really corny dialogue. It was like an old BBC radio play of American actors.
Gee, all static. That normally only happens when there's Norg scenes.
You betcha. Meatballs for.
Welcome back, Glenn Robbins. Glenn, you're here as part of the Thank God You're Here team.
Yes.
But I guess a lot of people would be saying, but what does Glenn do? What is his role in the show?
Yes.
Tell us about it. You're kind of the backstage. You're like the coach, really, aren't you, with the towel around
I
your
am
neck
actually.
and the liniment.
Yes, I work with the man sitting next to me and a few of his talented friends, and they're what they call the ensemble. Thank God You're Here ensemble.
How does it work? So in the afternoons, you play the guest and walk through all the scenes so that the cameraman will know what might happen?
I walk through the door and I pretend to be the celebrity, and then we move the furniture around a bit and we play with their performances a little bit, but these guys are so good, I don't really do all that much.
And do you ever do one and you go, I wish that had been on the show, come up with some good gear there?
Rarely.
No, come on.
My hair, I've been doing so many that it's like you take the top of my head off and just give it a bit of a whirl, because it's just my head just goes nuts, because I'm trying to think of 8 things at the same time,
right.
And trying to be scintillatingly funny for the crew.
And they love it though.
Yeah.
They all crowd around when Glenn has a crack.
Now, I've noticed something that's starting to happen lately on Thank God You're Here. There's a bit of it last week, is that the guests are trying to throw the ensemble cast off.
Yeah, that's their go.
Yeah, the Daniel, who's the gentleman with the beard.
Dukes who works here.
He got some hard time last week at the end there.
The funny part is that these guys are under pretty strict instruction to stick to script.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we let them off the leash and said, you know what, have a bit of a crack, they would slice and dice our celebrities week in, week out. So I would, sort of caution the celebrities to not go there.
Now, the last hour we were talking about rip-offs. So have you been ripped off?
I was ripped off recently, but it's only, look, I must say, it's only in a minor way. It was like I was minorly miffed.
Yes.
At what the minor thing that happened. Okay.
Oh, yeah, run us through
But
it.
please don't judge me harshly.
Well, let's just hear it.
I've got a digital clock on my desk and it runs on batteries. Okay. And I didn't have a screwdriver small enough to get the battery out of the digital clock.
Right.
So I went to the watchmaker and I said, "Can you whack a new battery in this for us?" He said, "No worries at all." Stand there, did it in front of me, took him 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He goes, "That'll be $13." I said,
$13 for a battery installation?
Exactly. And as I'm pulling out the 13, I'm going, hang on a second. I said, "What? Is it an expensive battery?" He said, "No, it's only about, $250 or something. But we do extra." And you know what the extra was? He reset the time.
Yeah.
Ripped off. You expect like a little mint or something for that. wouldn't you?
So there you go. I'm never going back. Because, look, understandably, if they go out the back, I reckon add on $10.
Fine.
Absolutely
If
right.
they have to go out the back, fine.
But
Different
he didn't
story.
go out the back. He did it right in front of me. It's like my mum used to say about the butcher. She'd go to the butcher. She'd say, "He gets me the special meat." How do you know, Mum? Because he goes out the back.
Ah, yeah.
He doesn't get the meat out of the window. He goes out the back. So we are eating tonight on our table the special meat.
The out the back meat.
He didn't go out the back to get a special battery. He did it right in front of me with a screwdriver. I'm never going back.
Oh, yeah.
I have a problem with
Drawing the line.
I have to go to a different butcher's every time I go to the butcher's because I just go there to get bones for the dog. And that so offends them. All right, we've got all this beautiful stuff on the fake grass in the window and you just want the rubbish for the dog. Here you go.
How much is rubbish for the dog?
It's like about $1.50 for a Fred Flintstone Brontosaurus bone, which the Labrador
Are
gets
you
through.
travelling suburbs then?
Yeah, I have to go interstate to
Wow.
go to a new butcher every time because every time they get offended by my dog request.
Butcher is an interesting one, though. A lot of women that I talk to suggest that the butcher is the flirtiest of all the shopkeepers.
Yeah, they are. That's very true.
But why is that? Is it because it's all so tactile? And
There's so much innuendo with the snags. There's so many opportunities there. Who are these women that you're talking to, Richard?
lots of women in the Richard Marsland MySpace community.
Yeah.
Talking butchers.
Really? Glenn, are you in cyberspace? Is there a glennrobbins.com or a MySpace or a Facebook?
Well, it's funny you should say that because I don't do this very often, but I was Googling something and it said, go to Glenn Robbins' fan page. I went, oh, I didn't know I had one. And I went click and someone's set up a fake version of me on MySpace. It's not me.
Really?
Doing a fake version of me.
But have you approved everything that's on there? Is it all true?
Well, it's it's a picture of Uncle Arthur, and
There you
it's
Interest, ironed dollar notes.
in birthday cards.
There's so much maintenance involved. People say, why don't I have one? And the thing is, I've got podcasts to make in the
Absolutely right.
afternoon. I mean, Ed, you don't really do any work on yours,
I've
do you?
given up. There we go.
You've given up.
Well,
'cause
how-
I've given. It's too much work.
What about the fans?
Yeah, there's
they're
lots-
putting in every day. Some of our best material comes from your MySpace page.
Will you read it?
Yeah.
When I was at school,
Yeah.
they had a thing called girls would get together with swap cards, and they'd go, got it. And I believe it's
Yeah.
the same with MySpace. Two people, or Facebook is the new one. You heard about
Yeah,
Facebook?
that's right. MySpace is so 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So you come together and you compare friends now.
Absolutely right.
So therefore, it's a competition of friends.
Yeah. Of number and hotness.
I mean,
See,
seriously.
if you've got 50 friends but they're all hot, that's better than having like 6,000 and they're all a bit oof.
Yeah.
And how do you know they're hot?
Because they send you photos. And you can comment, Glenn.
Yeah, so suddenly
So
he's
if you had a
interested.
photo on your MySpace with your shirt off, just hanging around the lilo in a pool,
Banana.
and then people would comment, "Oh, hey, Glenn, like the lilo," and then you check their pictures and you're like, "Oh, hey, Sally, nice stuff," and then you meet up.
I got to go. haven't
Dog news. Listen to this. Devon, England. A dog with a cigarette habit is suffering from withdrawal symptoms following the introduction of one of them pub smoking bans in Britain. These people, who are both smokers, have taken their pet collie, Archie, to the local pub since he was a puppy, and he's getting narky because he's having withdrawal from the smoke. That's what you hate to see, isn't it? A collie with a smoker's cough. That's always a bad look. Imagine that episode of Lassie. Should I rescue Timmy from the well? Nah, I might just chill and watch some Ralph TV. But how do you? I mean, I've never had this problem. How do you get your dog off the fags? How would you do that? A nicotine chew toy? Would that be the answer?
I think so.
Get it hooked on something stronger. Get it onto the gear, maybe.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I don't know. My Labrador doesn't smoke, but it can balance a large ashtray on her back. That's how hefty she's looking at the moment.
Flat she is.
A large ashtray and a fan selection of magazines. She is a coffee table. Mug rings, it's undignified. She's been headhunted by Canine Plumpers magazine. That's how bad it's getting.
Unbelievable.
Other big stories. Have you got dog news? Have you?
Well, Tone, this is you guys keep rejecting my phone topics.
Yeah.
And I've got another example as to why we should be doing it. Listen to this. Mum hooked on pet boxer. A mum was trapped for an hour when her hand stuck inside her pet boxer's mouth.
Right.
I mean, this leads to the phone topic. What's tried to swallow you? Hey?
Well, pelican.
Yeah, we've done pelican.
Would be a
All
lot
right,
of
well
the
then, what have you been inside? How about that?
Yeah, see, I just think that's going to backfire.
You think that's going to backfire?
Same with the swallow thing, I think.
Really?
We're really heading down the same alley.
No, because we saw Rogue last night. Richard and I saw Rogue.
Oh, new Croc movie.
The new Croc movie.
Does it improve on Lake Placid?
Well, the Croc looks amazing.
Incredible Croc.
There were when I went home, I was checking cupboards for Crocs.
Sorry, you're describing the film as an incredible croc. Can we put that on the poster?
No, it was very scary.
Yeah.
Very,
Alright.
very scary stuff. And lots of people, copping it sweet from the Croc,
Yeah.
as you would expect.
lovely.
But we were saying afterwards that it'd be great to see a horror film where all of the people who are, about to get eaten by the monster accidentally make themselves more and more delicious. So,
Just a string of onions around the neck.
Yes.
By mistake.
Exactly right. Richard was saying they go to grab something from an overhead compartment. Breadcrumbs all over me.
One melon on each foot somehow.
Why are you putting the sprig of rosemary up there? I don't know. I guess
Well-
we'll find out later in the film.
I think Cousin is coming in. Stephen Curry. Has he get eaten? No, don't spoil it.
I can't say.
Okay, well, he's
I
coming
can't
in.
say. But he is barbecue flavoured.
Tell you what, we'll put that idea to him when he
That's not
comes
a
in.
bad idea.
You want to talk about crime? Was that shot up the territory, so to
Yeah.
speak?
Oh, yeah.
We've all been shot up the territory. But listen to this. This is a story we flagged earlier in the year, and it finally paid off on Friday. Darwin's disgraced Lord Mayor has
dear.
quit. This is Peter Adamson, former television sports reporter. On Friday, was found guilty of stealing and false accounting after improperly using council funds to buy the following 3 items. Are you ready?
Yep.
A fridge, a Darth Vader voice changer,
Yes.
and some women's underwear.
Oh, he's shopping at Audi, clearly. It's a bizarre
That's the
combination.
answer. That's a recipe for fun, isn't it? But what could you do with a fridge, a Darth Vader voice changer, and some women's underwear?
Wow.
Trying to think of a scenario. Let's see, you'd put on the women's underwear,
Yeah, big time.
climb into the fridge with the Darth Vader voice changer, and then just wait. Wait till someone comes into the kitchen, and then they hear...
Use the fridge. Use the fridge.
Good plan, don't you reckon? Then they go over to it,
Yeah.
open the door, and there he is. There's the Mayor of Darwin in the scanty panties, pointing at the downstairs department, going...
The Emperor is expecting you.
That's what he calls it, apparently. That's what he calls it. Then he just throws in...
As you can see, my power is growing. My Death Star will be completed on schedule.
Okay, hang on. That's unnecessary.
Hang on.
But you tell me what other scenario you can come up with.
It's good enough for me.
For those 3 items. That was me standing in a booth with Matt Dow, talking into a rubbish bin.
Is that how it works?
That's how you do the Darth Vader voice.
I think that's how Edward James almost... No, that's not who it did.
No.
That would be
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
I met him. I was in a poster and memorabilia movie store in San Francisco.
Nerd.
Site yet, Nerdsville. Ding, ding. Door rings. In comes James Earl Jones doing the voice.
No, he didn't.
No, it's his voice.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
He wasn't...
Talking into a bin.
And comes up and says to the guy, have you got any Star Wars memorabilia? Because my grandchildren want some and I don't have any.
Wow.
And you're going, if I could have got that on tape.
Yeah.
And as soon as he started talking, I just couldn't help but do a bit of...
Did he mind?
Plenty of Field of Dreams memorabilia.
It's just doing it for my own amusement. Last night on Channel 10 News, great story about how Durex, the condom people, are recruiting people to test their condoms. And a lot of people queuing up. Check out this bloke here.
Durex is looking for 200 condom testers. The online campaign has attracted more than 4,000 applicants in just 1 week. Marketing student Yati believes his looks will get him the job.
Pretty. Done. That's all I'm saying. Pretty. I'm a big fan of the Pleasure Max because it just gives you pleasure to the max. Ribs not too bad, but if you've got game and you know what you're doing, you can get away with it. It'd be more like a sponsorship. So Durex would sponsor me to do what I love. And I love women.
There you go.
Hang on, so what's he actually saying? The marketing student is saying that he's so good looking that he's going to get so much action that they're going to be just handing him condoms all the time because he's already using so many anyway.
Durex won't be able to keep up with the stats, the figures he's bringing back to them.
I saw this man.
Yeah. You don't think?
I'm not convinced.
Yachty has a chance?
I'm not convinced.
All right, well...
I'm really not convinced.
I'm assuming the results of the testing will be published online and we'll find out.
And you know what? He's set the bar very, very high because unless he's using, there's going to be a Durex guy at the bar with him going, no, go up to her. Seriously, go up to her. You're behind quota, bro. You are behind quota.
What about this? Now, this sounds like a joke, but I assure you, this is a story from yesterday's Australian, one of our respected newspapers. Curry-flavoured condoms that appeal to Indian palates are sweeping the country's market, suggesting its largely conservative population is waking up to the appeal of oral sex. An official of Hindustan Latex Limited, no, that's not a fake name, Ed.
Hindustan.
Principal manufacturer of more than 1 billion condoms a year in India, said that until recently the flavoured condom market had been negligible.
Yep, no, fair enough.
Curry-flavoured condoms, what will they be calling them? Curried favours, surely, will be the answer. The poppadom? I don't know.
Pop on the poppadom.
There you go.
There we go.
Poppadom and off you shoot. All right, I don't know. Check it out. I'm wearing a curry-flavoured condom. Wow, that's great, but why does it come with so much rice? Sorry. And then there's the tandoori condom where you put it on and then bake your genitals in clay for 12 hours. I'm sorry. What would be the side effects of the curry-flavoured condom? Obviously, there'd be a fair bit of farting if jokes are to be believed. Wow, that's great. That's great. But is that you? I'm sorry. Sorry. Do we need to move on?
Oh, yuck.
So the Dinger Burger is available in India very soon.
Where are our boings today? Where are our boings?
We need the shower. Do you have our new crying game shower? I need something. I got to get clean somehow. Between Yeti and the curry-flavoured condoms.
Yeti.
I didn't feel so good. Come on, Rich. Give it some, please.
Take
I
a
feel
shower.
dirty. Washing away the papadum joke.
Washing away the bad jokes.
Washing away the image of Yeti going, I'm pretty. I'm pretty.
All right, you've got rid of that image of him doing that?
It'd be like getting hit on by Shrek.
Get this, it's blown out to 2 hours, 11 to 1 weekdays on the Triple M network.